Getting these cats taken off.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. Well, I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Thank you.
And nobody can hang with my stuff. Just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm talking about?
Hello, I'm Jensen. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. So obviously, as you can tell by the title, I'm getting catless mid pipes today. I'm juiced. I know it's about to sound way better. I already have a mid muffler and resonator delete, so it's gonna be straight pipe from the headers back. So I can't wait for how loud it's gonna be. It might be a little obnoxious, but it's all good. And I'm pretty sure it adds some power just because it breathes better. And I think Josh is gonna add a tune to it as well, or just update the tune. I'm not sure. We'll see when we get there. And I also want to ask if we could shoot flames, because I kind of want to shoot flames. I know it's not the healthiest thing for the motor, but we'll see what he says, you know. I'm about 2 minutes away, so I'll tap back in when I pull up. Pulling up now, finally. I'm late. I know I'm late, but I'm here. So what you got going on today? What you working on?
Nothing special. Just another day.
A little bit of everything?
Yeah. Today's kind of getting some tunes.
As you guys can see, they're not just Mopar. A little bit of everything in here.
You can go ahead and hop back on.
GTRs, Evos, WRXs, all type of stuff. Ow. Coolest thing in the shop. Did you notice I raised it?
Oh, nice.
Barely? Barely?
That might fit.
It's definitely taller than what it was.
Yeah.
For sure.
The fronts are about where you probably want the rears at. Like maybe another, like 1 or 2 fingers into that. Yeah, you might still need to go up like another inch or 2.
Damn. That's tall. That's really tall.
I mean, it won't look that way once you put a tire in there, but
That's true.
I mean, the tire itself is going to probably be like this tall.
And that's with the 17-inch wheels and
That's
stuff?
17s with 315s.
315s. Would 305s fit on this wheel?
Yeah, you could put
You like make decals?
20s. But
Do you think I would hook?
It's not gonna, not at this power level. Like,
No.
you got to go 17. Like, you don't really have a choice. Like, yeah,
Okay,
you have to go.
okay.
Yeah, you have to go 17s. I mean, 20s with radials with the Mickey Thompson 305s, better than nothing.
Okay.
Right, better than nothing. But that's still not good enough. Yeah.
I don't know if this will stand up on its own. I'll pull them out for no problem.
So here, on these,
What brand did you say these were?
those are JBS.
JBS?
JBA.
JBA.
So the 2 companies, well, there's 3 that make them. You've got AFE used to, JBA, and Stainless Works. But of course, you know, since this vehicle is strictly used off-road and was never driven, and you towed it in here,
Remember that.
you know, and it's only used for racing purposes at events.
Exactly.
They don't really make the pipes in, like, they cracked down and they don't make the pipes anymore. They make them catted, but at that point it doesn't really matter anyways. So if you're doing like an off-road build, a race car, something like that, then you can get an account with them and they'll send you something.
Okay. But you gotta put all your information and all that shit in?
Yeah, and they're gonna check. They're gonna check.
They're gonna make sure.
They're gonna make sure. You know, they gotta cross their T's, dot their I's.
These look very nice.
Yeah, they're actually really nice. They're hard to find. Well, I mean, they're almost impossible to find. Like, you can't even get them anymore level. You know, and especially out here, it's like we don't really do them. You know, if it's a street car, like a lot of the cars you guys have seen, like even running fast, they still got the cats on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we stay on top of that. You know, as far as
Street use versus off-road use
versus off-road use, because they'll ding you for it. They'll ding you for it hard. So you know, this one is, you know, from our standpoint and how we have it listed, you know, this is a sponsored drift car, you know, so
track only vehicle.
Track only. Since you know, that's its main purpose. So
It's like gold sitting here.
the car's in the air right now because we're changing the oil.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll go off and do whatever you want with these.
Yeah, I'll get
some
these.
other establishment.
I'll get these put on at Los Santos Customs down the street, but.
Those guys.
Yeah, right now they're just doing an oil change because I think the last time I changed it was like 3,000 miles ago, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So actually what we use is actually back here. We're an AMSOIL dealer. So for all these, it's actually 040. So the 040 AMSOIL signature, this is the oil. This is what we put in everything. If you come here, we will not, well, if you bring us oil, we're not dicks about it.
You're gonna be like, nah, we won't.
Nah, bro, like we'll put it. But if you come here and you're getting something done through us, this is all we'll put in. Right?
Okay.
We won't. I won't even waste your time with anything else. Because here's the thing, oil like this costs a little bit more, but it also lasts longer. So
you get more mileage out of it.
Exactly. It's kind of the same concept of like E85 is cheaper than pump gas, right?
Yeah.
And you use more E85, you know, 25 to 30% more. But it's also 30 to 45% cheaper.
True.
Right? So
depending where you go. I've been getting
bro, I don't know where you
the last couple days.
You were showing me like $4 E85.
Yeah, one of the spots that I used to go to anyway was $4.20 a gallon.
Yeah. That's a wrap, bro.
Ridiculous.
I remember E85 up until maybe about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, it was only like $1.80 something. And then it went up to finally like $2.19. I swear it was like $2.19 for forever.
Yeah.
And then now it's, so I think at most places out here in SAC, it's probably like $3.25, I say.
Okay.
I see yours, it's like $3.40 where you go?
Yeah, well, at
least that place?
Yeah, that
versus
spot that I found that's closer to the house, yeah, $3.40.
Gas prices in general are really crazy right now, but I mean, that's kind of the situation we're in. And, you know, not to be political, but
thanks, Biden.
Yeah.
So out here at Los Santos Customs, getting these cats taken off. Big little chunky thing. There it is. Jesus, dude. The damn
screw? Oh yeah. Oh, that's
dude.
took the whole thread to that.
God. So just for shits and giggles, we're gonna start it up. Open headers, no mid pipes, straight open headers. Let's hear this thing. So no mid pipes. Brace yourself. Startup. Yeah, it does. Sounds good with those catalyst mids in there.
Sounding a little spicy. it's fall, guys. It's just foggy. It's foggy out. We're gonna have to call you the weatherman. Because
that shit sounds so good.
it's super foggy out now, man. You know, it's boost season.
Shout out to Overkill Performance.
Oh yeah. So how'd that make you feel? Now the kitty growls, huh?
It honestly sounds like how it should have from the factory.
Yeah.
Like the supercharger line is exactly where it needs to be. Now the exhaust is exactly where it needs to be. It's finally barking.
Hell yeah.
Finally.
What you think, OG? What you think? What you think about these young cats and drifting out these boats? They say.
I think they doing big shit, man.
Woo! Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
See, when y'all get the OG agrees with it.
The OG approval.
What you think?
So,
Sheesh!
So shooting flames. How do you feel about shooting flames? Because I know hell of people come to you talking about, hey, I want to shoot flames. I need the burble tune. I need it to pop and crackle. Shooting flames. I know it's not the best thing for the car, right?
I could trade the 720 in for a McLaren Senna if I made the amount of money from all the people who want pops and burbles. So here's the thing. There's nothing magical about a flame tune, right? It's
just running rich, right?
Fuel, right? You don't necessarily want extra fuel in the exhaust. Like, so when you tune specifically for performance, it's going to be lean, right? And if it's lean, you're not spitting flames.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things that need to happen for you to spit flames naturally. A lot of people see like exotic cars, like
like the Gentani tunes and stuff like that.
Those cars spit flames because the exhausts are 2 feet.
That's very true.
People don't take that into consideration.
Those are all rear engine cars, if not mid-engine cars.
Yeah, you gotta understand that literally, like, you won't see people spitting flames like that. Like DD has like their twin turbo setup. It spits flames because the exhaust
is right out the hood.
right. When before they had that, you know, it wasn't spitting flames like that. You can still get them to spit flames, but it's not going to do it to that degree. It's just like as soon as the 600 LT came out, and you know they had the volcano exhaust out the top. You rev that thing. But regularly, even though it had short exhaust, it would only spit flames sometimes, right? So to have enough extra fuel in your exhaust for a vehicle that's as big and as long as a Charger. Mind you, a Charger takes up more space in my shop than a Trackhawk.
Yeah, it literally does. You guys can...
People don't
the
understand
difference.
How big the Charger is, right? The Challenger, the Challenger's a little bit longer, you know? I want to say the Challenger wheelbase is like 16.5 inches. The Trackhawk wheelbase is like, I want to say it's like 114. It might be 160, but I think it's 114.
Isn't the Charger and Challenger the same?
They're pretty close to the same.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty close to the same. I think the Challenger is the body is longer, but the wheelbase is the same.
Okay.
Which is why when you purchase drive shafts, there's a Challenger and a Charger.
Oh, okay, that extra half
and
inch or whatever.
When you buy the exhaust, they usually come with extenders and stuff like that. Because I think the Challenger wheelbase and body is a little bit longer.
Just stretched out a little bit.
It might be the Charger, but I think it's the Challenger. One or the other. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, so flames. We do have a few of our guys. So a bunch of our Scat Pack guys, you know, shout out Chucky. His, you know, spits flames. We have some of our Hellcat guys that spit flames. It's just not common, right? Your tune is maximized for performance. So you're not gonna have a bunch of unspent fuel in the exhaust.
Okay.
But also, I mean, once you take this exhaust and you pretty much straight pipe it, you know, you put some headers on the thing, you know, you got some mids, and I mean.
Well, it is straight pipe now. I just don't have headers.
Pretty much, yeah. So I mean, the factory manifolds, which they're kind of mini headers, it's still got to pass through all your resonators. You got your resonators still?
I don't have resonators or mid mufflers.
You just have your mufflers in the end?
Nah, nothing.
Nothing?
Straight
so it's
pipe.
just straight?
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody caught you at the right moment and they were actually videotaping you, like doing a pull, you probably would be able to spit
If
flames.
it's hot enough and stuff like that.
Because the other thing you gotta understand is these cars are 8-speed, so they're shifting.
True. Milliseconds.
So our manual guys, our Challenger guys, those guys, I've seen them spit flames.
Okay.
I shouldn't have said that. Now they're gonna tell you to do it. Do a manual swap, bro. Hurry up and do a manual swap.
I want to one day, maybe when this one gives up. We'll see.
I mean, the biggest thing about doing a manual swap is, you know, everybody, oh, it's cool for drifting. That's fine and dandy, but the manuals are a lot slower.
Definitely.
In a drag racing situation, they get worse gas mileage. So I mean, it's lighter, but
there's a lot of downsides, a lot of pluses.
There's way more downsides than pluses. Technology has changed to the point that even the high-end cars, like the GTRs, the Huracans, the R8s, and all the other little supercar stuff, like they use paddles and they have the
all dual clutches. And stuff.
They're clutched, but they're made like manuals because nothing's gonna shift faster than a computer.
Yeah.
Right.
That's facts.
So I mean, this car is an 8-speed, is almost a full to half second faster than say a Challenger with the same setup.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, in the quarter mile, you're going through 4 gears. If you're in a manual, you're going through 6 gears if you're in the auto.
Wow.
Right. So
That's good to know.
Yeah, when you look at the power band, you know, so I guess reverse to the camera. So if your power band's going up like this, and you shift between this point and this point, then you're going to make more power. But if you're a manual, every time you shift, it's going to shift way down here in your power band.
That's true, because you got to let off. Yeah.
And it gets worse if, say, you have like a turbo vehicle or something. So you
build.
shift, and it's like, then transient response, and you got to spool back up. So that's why turbo, like the turbo 18 and up Mustangs are so deadly, because they got that 10-speed.
Oh, okay.
And they shift through 7 gears in a quarter mile. They never go out of boost. So once they spool up from the get-go and they take off,
they're moving.
Hit that trans brake, take off, and boost. They stay in boost like every gear, and it's like you can't. It's like you ever seen races, and you can tell when people are shifting, and they're and they shift, and you see them fall back.
Yep.
And that's when you see automatic cars that start scooting on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the same thing, like I said, versus you and Mike, when you guys race, that's one of the things that a lot of people aren't taking into consideration. When I talked about him needing to it's going to have to shift perfect, and then when you have a situation where, if his clutch isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing and, anything else, then he's going to have to shift absolutely perfectly.
He's going to have to shift like a computer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, if he's able to drive that thing enough time to get used to just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I've seen videos of the speed of both of them. From a roll, they're definitely very even. They're, if you just look in the background, they're very even speed wise. So I mean, it's like I said, it's going to be a good race. The only difference is your car's not going to have any mistakes. Your car's not going to miss any shifts. It's not going to lag on a shift. It's not going to take too long to shift. It's going to literally just snap, 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 and do everything that it's supposed to do through the whole, thing. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be a good race. If he races a perfect race, like that car better be perfect, I think he has a chance. But if you guys race from a dig, like a real race, because rolls are for bakeries. But if you guys race for real from a dig, it's a wrap.
It's over with.
Yeah, I don't. There's no way.
All right.
I don't.
You guys heard it from the professional.
and you got to remember, I have pro-charged LS cars. I have 3 pro-charged LS cars. Well, one used to be pro-charged and now it's turbo, twin turbo. But you guys saw my Camaro, and then that's an F1R. That's a big old pro-charge setup.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm not, and that's a 6-speed. It's got the same motor and transmission that he has, except built to the moon.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this. I mean, I'm neutral. I got a big pro charged LS3 base 418 stroked F1. Like, I'm talking from facts. You know,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a bunch of people who disagree with me, and that's fine. You can disagree with me. Freedom of speech. You know, you can be wrong if you want to, but those are simple facts.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm gonna say it, I'm not gonna say it as an opinion. I'm gonna say it as a simple fact. Between those two vehicles, even though they're viewing you as the underdog due to the weight, from a roll, yes, from a dig, just you have to be perfect with the shifts. The car's gonna have to run better than it's ever ran. You know what I'm saying? This thing hasn't skipped a beat since you got it.
Most definitely.
And
Perfect.
you know, by the time you get to the point that, you know, the longer it takes to get that race going, the more
and more built my shit's gonna be.
and the more used to drag racing you're gonna be. You know, like that was, you know, that's more his element. You know, he's been doing a little bit more, you know, drag racing than you have. You know, you guys both be sliding, but you know, transitioning into drag racing, you see the differences between it.
For sure.
So it's like I said, it's going to be a good race, and that's not me taking sides on it, because I would love to see the Corvette. Like, the Corvette is supposed to win. Right?
Yeah, like that's what's supposed to happen. Is the Corvette is supposed to win. It's not supposed to lose
it's
against a
supposed to
4-door
win.
sedan.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to win. Mentally, we all want to see. Oh, I mean, that's like the sexy, you know, sleek model. You know, that car is light. It's a sport car. This is a 4-door family sedan, bro. The fact that we're even conversing about the probabilities
It's funny.
is crazy.
It's
But
hella
when
funny.
you actually look at technology, you actually put facts to facts, and if you actually have experience with both vehicles, which I guarantee you 99.99% of people don't.
Do not. That's for sure.
But I do.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's exactly how that race is going to pan out. Is if it's a perfect race, it's going to be really close. If there's any variation to it, it's going to be pretty bad. It's going to be pretty bad. But it's going to be fun.
Most definitely.
Make sure you guys do a dig and a roll. You know, I say, you know, like I was saying before, we got to put together an event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we got to keep it safe, put it at the track. If you go to the track, that definitely helps the Corvette.
Okay.
That definitely helps the Corvette, because a prep track is going to make up for the lack of traction. Corvettes are great weight transfer. The transmissions are in the back for a reason. But the good thing about the Charger is it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's just like the Trackhawk.
He's gonna hook it.
If you guys do the race and you guys are close enough around, you know, I'll take a trip out to Mexico. I'll bring one of the Trackhawks out there.
Okay.
We'll see how the Trackhawk fares. That'll be fun too.
The last Trackhawk I rode in damn near made me shit myself. That thing's
I'll bring a similar one.
crazy fast.
And I think it's gonna be fun. But I mean, that's what the community needs, man.
Yeah.
We need to have just everybody just needs to be able to get together and just kick it. You know, it's like back in the day, you have the cookout, you know, the functions.
Yeah, block parties and shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys are two leaders in that that little subdivision, right? You know, and we need to, you know, he's got all the Chevys over there, and then you've got all the Mopar guys over. I definitely think that we should do, you know, have some events and have some fun with it, man.
Most
Have some fun
definitely.
with it, 'cause
Comment down below if you guys would like to see some private events hosted by me, Overkill, and just
let us know, because I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Is if you guys are down, we're down. You know, like I said, I'm gonna take some time out, and you know, like I said, I've always stayed away from social media, but you know, I'm definitely gonna make the time to give back, make sure the community. We sponsor 90+% of the race events that happen anyways.
Okay.
But you know, I'm down to start putting on some new events and some stuff where we can have some drag racing, have the pits open, you know, so we can have the best of both worlds. Like I said, we'll still get that event where you get to go out there, run a 9-second pass, then put on the burners and go over there and just, you know, hit the pits. I mean, and that'd be lit, you know. And the cool thing is both of your fan bases are both of those sides of the coin. You
Exactly.
know? The drag racing, the drifting, you know, it's important for us to make sure we just have one big family, you know, because there ain't no beefing. It's all love.
Nah, most definitely not.
Yeah.
Don't go picking sides between me and Mike.
Yeah.
We're homies. Like,
Yeah. So
this is just to see who's got the faster car for now. For now.
That's the thing too, and then it's what's the next step?
Yeah,
you know
for
what
real.
I'm saying? Because it's, I mean, you're a couple mods away from going from the 850 package to the 900 package. And then you're just a ported blower and snout stuff away from going from that to the 950 package. We're talking, you know, real close to coming from us. Our cars that are running our 950 packages are running bottom nines, 5.7, 5.8 in the 8th mile. Stock motor, factory blower.
No
17
weight reduction or anything?
No, I mean they'll take the back seats out, but I mean to stock front seats, dash, everything. You know, we've been doing it. You know, we did it at Red List, went 7-0 at Red List both times this year, last year. You know, whatever other event. So, you know, I'm not too worried about what your car does.
Yeah.
I know you'll be good. You'll be good. So.
And I forgot to ask, didn't the mid-pipes add a little bit of power?
The mid-pipes are going to add some power. I didn't get a chance to look at the cats. You know, they were at the other shop that installed them.
Yeah.
You know, since we didn't do them, you know, I didn't get a chance to see what the cats look like. You know, shame on them.
Shout out to Los Santos Customs.
Los Santos Customs.
Down and around the way.
Yeah, you know, I knew them dudes from way back in Grove Street. So, you know, but I want to say 10 to 20.
Okay.
And that's depending on how bad your cats were. You know, if they were free flowing, about 10. Because HELLCAT exhaust is actually really big.
Yeah, it's
They're like
3 inch all the way down.
Yeah, it's like 2 3/4 to 3 inch, the whole exhaust. That's why they're so light. Like Mopar did their thing.
Yeah.
So the thing that starts happening with the cats is eventually they start burning out. And then, you know, and if you keep the cats in, you'll eventually burn them out. So swapping those out saves your cats. And it does give you a little bit of power, but that's the difference. It's going to be either 10 or 20 depending on how bad they were. Your top end is going to be a lot better. Your boost is going to drop. That's kind of, so less resistance, right? Because it's just a measurement of pressure. So it's going to be running more fluidly, more efficiently. So it's less compression, less pressure, less PSI to get the same amount of work done. So the amount of power that you make isn't really going to go down. It's just going to be more efficient. It's going to run cooler. Same thing if you did headers, ported heads, that'll actually drop your PSI levels. Then that's when you pulley back up. And, you know,
bring the boost back up.
Bring it back up. So yeah, I mean, your setup, get a good. I think you're good where you're at, because it allows you to do both in a safe point. But we're gonna turn it up.
Most definitely.
See, the Drift Cat, there's a lot of you that told him that it wasn't going to be reliable at 850. And you didn't know I was building it. So, you know, it's done what it needed to do. We already proved the point we wanted to prove. So now as a Drift Cat splits its personality like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and you got the Gap Cat. The Gap Cat might need to be 900 or 950 horsepower. 1,000 horsepower sounds crazy. There's not too many people drifting with that kind of power, regardless. You're double, triple some of these guys that are out there. Of course, you got a heavier car too. But definitely at that point, once we start getting into more of the Gap Cat era, it's time for more power.
Yeah.
And I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about.
And it's really just a couple mods, right? Like you said, ported blower, ported snout.
Just to give a reference between the OP850 and the OP900 package, that extra 50 horsepower comes from. So in the HELLCATs, you gotta upgrade your fuel pumps because they only come with one single fuel pump, right? But if this was a Red Eye, or if it was a TRX, HELLCAT Durango, a Demon, or a Trackhawk, they can go all the way to OP900 off the bat. So the big difference about the regular HELLCATs is they got to get the double pumpers in there. So all those cars I mentioned already come with 2 pumps, right? So the HELLCATs only have one single pump. So we put the booster pump on there, and that's how we get to the levels we're at right now. So what we would do for safety, because I could push what you have right now that far, I'm just not going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So we put the double pump system in it, and a lot of people will put the double pump system in it and not run a booster pump. Why? Right?
Yeah.
we put the double pump system in it, and we run the booster pump on top of it, right? So now you're making big boy levels of fuel, you know what I'm saying? So then at that point, you could go even as far as the OP950, the ported snout, billet plate in the blower, throttle body, and then an even smaller pulley. Or actually, I take that back. Let me go in order because it's going to be confusing. So the 850 that he has right now has a 2.7/2.68 upper pulley. To move to the OP900 is going to require the double pumper pump in the back, and then switching from a 2.7 to a 2.5 pulley. That's it.
Really?
That's literally it. And then we put the tensioner on there, which we were going to put a tensioner on yours anyways, but that's it.
Wow.
That's literally all it takes. And just imagine if you had one of the other vehicles I described that already come with double pumps, we would.
All you had to do is do a different pulley
I would just
size.
put a smaller pulley on.
That's crazy.
It would take literally 6 minutes to put on. 6 bolts, 6 minutes, same belt, everything.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then to go from an OP900, right, to the OP950, that's going to be your blower is going to have the billet bearing plate, which, you know, shout out to a lot. I think a lot of the companies are doing now, SDG, Jokers, but we did it. Fast actually did it first. And we actually were the very first ones to run that in all of the Mopar community, period.
That's dope.
Yeah. Check the facts, call them up,
stats.
ask Nico. You know, it's we're not blowing smoke. You know, we don't live in like a big market area. You know, this isn't LA, this isn't Texas, this is this little, you know, NorCal. Yeah. And I don't, you know, we don't do the social media stuff. So the stuff that we've done, a lot of people don't know. Just like running these FI chillers, we did that first. Yeah. Right. And now this is an industry standard for this community, right? And everything. That's why we say a lot of our builds are the blueprint. It's not to brag about it. It's not to, you know, it's just like the idea of when somebody said, give them their flowers. It is what it is. It's a factual thing. Yeah. You can go to the owners of these companies, Kurt, Nico, I have their personal number, and ask, hey, who were the first people that did the R&D on this and this and this? The blankets and the FI blower spacers, the lid spacers. So that Trackhawk that I showed you, actually it's the one that's sitting out there. That Trackhawk right there, actually we'll pop the hood. Okay. We'll make it quick. Because it's just, if I'm going to say something, might as well prove it.
Exactly.
So this is the very first spacer ever put on a Mopar, lid spacer, period. Really? In this vehicle, period. Period. Right? There's no arguing it. There's no debating it. There's no nothing to it, right? So it's not to be, you know,
it's not bragging. You're just spitting facts.
So yeah, so the Kong 112, this is actually one of the last Kong 112s that they sold. They have their contract with Wilson that makes these throttle bodies. We actually did the test on the very first 108 throttle body on JP, which is a Fam Hawk. So if you guys saw the video on our Overkill Instagram, so go to that, Overkill Performance. Yeah, that's actually my personal page.
Make sure you guys follow.
Okay, Overkill Everything, which has, you know, a few thousand more followers, but it's so dead. Like I said, we don't have time on there. That's actually the shop page. But the Overkill Performance that says Joho, that's actually my personal page. But go check that one out. You'll see our videos when we went down to the shootout. And I think Full Blown was down there, Yellow Jacket, you know, shout out to those guys. They're doing their thing down in SoCal. But this is actually the Trackhawk that raced Yellow Jacket. And then Fam Hawk was the Trackhawk that raced their fastest guy. Goodness, I just lost a punch. Shout out to those guys. Those dudes are dope. Those dudes are dope, man. Yeah. Super cool dudes down to earth. Like I said, it's all love from here down there. Like, I know sometimes those two shops down there be beefing with each other and they be trying to drag us into that. We don't be dragging into that because I got love for both shops really at the end of the day, because it's not affecting how I'm eating. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they're even far enough apart that they don't really affect how each other eats. So just hopefully one day we all just get to all sit down and just, you know, I know NPR's down there too, and there's a couple other shops down there. You know, my bad if I didn't mention them, but you know, it's cool to see that. But that other vehicle, which was the Black Trackhawk, which was JP's, that one was running the very first Kong 108.
Okay.
So I mean, we do a lot of R&D testing thing because I like doing this, and like it takes money. Like people don't realize that. Like I didn't get paid to run these spacers. Like I didn't get paid doing the I don't get we don't make money doing that. Like I might have access earlier to stuff. I might be able to get data that other people don't have. I might be able to bring stuff. It keeps us faster than other people, right? But that's my own money, my own time that I spend on this type of stuff, and then people want to get mad. You like, hey, we did. Oh, no, like, bro, like, that's petty. But it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
Most definitely.
But definitely, so that's what I'm saying is when it comes to the Gap Cat, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. We gonna keep it safe for the Drift Cat, but when that Dr. Jekyll goes away and Mr. Hyde's crazy self come out, we gonna make sure that you guys get your entertainment worth, and it's gonna be crazy. So if y'all want to see Jensen actually have 1,000 wheel horsepower,
so you guys can finally stop commenting talking about cap. It's not cap.
Stop bullying Jensen. Yeah, it's very doable, and we could do it on the stock motor, and it would be reliable.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. Like I said earlier, nothing that's 1,000 horsepower is truly reliable, but it's gonna drive the same. It's gonna drive identical. You won't notice that it's any different until you step on the gas and you realize that it doesn't stop pulling. Right? But,
I mean, even now, this shit does not stop pulling.
Yeah.
I drive around the city quarter throttle, maximum.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get like half throttle, it just puts you back in your seat, starts moving.
It's different. We put a lot of time and energy into this. Even the scat packs. Them scat packs be quick, bro. Like they be catching me off guard. Once we get those scat packs with the OP500 package, because we got 2 packages for the scat packs, the OP450 and the OP500, and they're the identical part list for our 5.7s, which is like the OP350 and the OP400. But once you do that, bro, you gotta understand they run mid-11s. That's HELLCAT territory. Yeah.
For sure.
That's HELLCAT territory. We've got like we talked about in that last video, we have a couple of our people now who are running like low 11s, in the scat packs with bolt-ons. E85, no blower, no nitrous, and they're running like 1.7 60 foots. So I mean, once we actually get their 60 foots and everything down, I mean, those are 11.1, 11.2. They're on the national list. So, that's what we try to do, is just keep pushing, man.
Be the best. If you're not first, you're last. Comment down below.
Shake and bake.
I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
Hold on. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby. So, yeah, a bunch of stuff coming up for the Drift Cat and the Gap Cat. Whatever you guys like best. Comment down below what name you like better. It's obviously always going to be the Drift Cat, but its alter ego is going to come out and play real soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right. Just now leaving Overkill. Got everything all settled. Mid pipes are installed. Thank you to Los Santos Customs. Big plans coming for the Drift Cat. Thank you again to Josh and everyone over here at Overkill Performance. Make sure you go follow them on Instagram. Tons of videos coming. I hope you guys like how the Drift Cat sounds. I didn't get too many sound clips. Just a little quick donuts in that one rev. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell, thumbs up, all that stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Doses.